Warning! What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, dorks and dweebs, nerds of all ages, GeekPod Network Productions is proud to bring to you the most electrifying middle-aged guys in Syracuse, the Doctor, Hugh, the Pod Whore, Paul Showens. Alone, they are single geek beacons in a dark cop drama world. But when the mics go hot, they are GeekPod. God bless me! Hello and welcome to this week's edition of GeekPod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
And I'm Corbs.
Welcome back, guys. Look at this. We're actually on schedule so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising.
That's a first.
I know. I almost thought about texting you guys earlier and being like, yeah, we can't do it tonight, guys. But
that would have been hilarious.
And
that would
probably
have been typical.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It would not have been a surprise at all. Gentlemen, and I know one of us already got a head start, and I don't even know if Corbs is doing it, but let's catch a buzz.
All right.
And that was
Corbs is not doing it.
I already have a glass, so.
All right. Do you want to talk about what you're drinking? Is it anything special?
Absolutely. It is something very special. And the reason I started early is because we celebrated my birthday today. Yesterday was my actual birthday, but we both had to work, so we celebrated today. My wife made dinner and a cake. And I started off my day. I mean, you know, my favorite beers are stouts, especially Founders Kentucky Breakfast Stout.
Nice.
So it occurred to me, you know what? I love breakfast stouts. I've never had one with breakfast. So that's what I did today. I got some microwave burritos, which I know you probably think, ew, especially for a guy that likes to cook. But one of my favorite breakfasts is a couple microwave burritos and some taco sauce. I love it. You know, for breakfast, Mexican for breakfast is great. I had that and one of these. This is Founders Kentucky Breakfast Stout Maple Mechanic Fudge. This is their normal breakfast stout, which is already made with coffee and chocolate, but with the additions of maple syrup, mechanic fudge flavored coffee. Mechanic fudge is something I guess is specific to Michigan, and more chocolate. And it's aged in bourbon barrels, and it is fucking delicious. Probably the biggest difference between this and their other KBS, and I do miss it a little bit. Normal KBS has a boozy hit, and Paul, you've had it, and you know
yes.
It's got that boozy hit. The extra chocolate and coffee kind of cover that up.
Really?
So I miss it a little, but in its place is a larger amount of chocolate and coffee than you get in the regular KBS. I mean, this is fucking dessert. And
that's awesome.
My birthday cake this year, I've been joking about asking for a stout cake because that's a real thing. And of course, my wife is like, well, you know, I don't want to make a beer cake. Oh, you just want a cake that tastes like beer, because she doesn't know about stout cakes. And then she's been watching the Great British Bake Off bullshit on Netflix, whatever that is. And she's seeing that they do that. You're putting, you know, beer and stout and cakes is an actual thing. And when someone else says, no, it doesn't taste like beer, then she finally believed me. It's not going to come out tasting like beer. Wow, Paul, that was a reaction. I saw that.
That was. I just didn't want to derail your stuff, so I tried to do it quietly.
Well, she decided to go ahead with it. And so she made a chocolate stout cake with it's like this crazy buttercream that has meringue whipped into it, but also with coffee. It's like a mocha coffee buttercream with a white chocolate ganache. It was just fucking delicious. I mean, oh my God, I wanted to rub it all over my body. It was amazing.
That's a bit much.
I was gonna let that one just go.
Yeah, dude, you haven't tasted the cake.
I don't think I need to. I'm pretty sure my my blood levels like just went up 20 points just through the description.
They would.
Well, good.
So-
It sounds like you had a good birthday. I'm glad to hear that.
Overall, it started off badly though, because my plan for the day was to get up, have breakfast, and then I was going to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla all day until
Nice.
dinner time, right? Okay. No, not nice, because I go to fire up the game, which I played yesterday, and I can't load my save. Keep trying to load my save. Start looking online. It's a problem that's been there since day one, and I've not run into it. All my saves are corrupted. I uninstalled and reinstalled 3 times. No good. All of my 39 hours of progress is gone. And I'm not even going to try to play it anymore until they fix it.
Until they fix it.
So that was a few hours of me trying to fix this. This is a pretty big chunk of my, celebration time already. So I'm like, okay, this really sucks. But before I got Valhalla, I had been started playing Fallout 76. I really liked that. You know what? I'll just go ahead and I'll play that. Nope, can't find the fucking game. Nowhere to be found. Looked all over the house, looked under shit. Cannot find it to save my life. I'm just like, what the fuck?
You weren't supposed to play today.
Yeah, basically. I am going to show you, though, just so we can be done with my birthday stuff. Because I'm sure Corbs didn't see this. This was my birthday gift from my wife.
That
it is a
really
Neca.
Cool.
It is. It's the Neca Ultimate Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Okay.
Multiple hands, multiple heads, multiple puzzle boxes. Even it's just fucking amazing.
It is, and being Neca, you know that is like a quality, high quality, top of the line collectible. Like they are a quality brand. That's not like a $10 figure at Walmart.
Right.
Yeah, it's the Ultimate Pinhead, and it's really awesome. So I'm super happy about that. What are you drinking, Paul?
I am drinking a cherry pie pastry sour ale. I'm going to try and put it into the screen again, but I'm still working out this whole green screen thing. But there will be a picture. I already sent the picture off to Laura, who was not impressed with my comments last week. She was very quick to point that out, which we knew was going to happen. But this is by Stoneyard Brewing Company. It doesn't have a cool write-up on it like most of the ones we have. It just says, life is just a bowl of cherries. And now, I told Hugh about it before we started recording what this was, and he goes, ooh, it's a sour. I'm not sure about that. Well, he's wrong, because I really like this. It's a different taste, but this is really, really good. And if you're just listening to the audio and not the video that I probably haven't put up by the time you're listening to this, the reaction he was talking about, like literally it was like, ooh. Right?
Yeah, I was worried that a sour that's outside your normal palate for beer. What you just
yes, but I that's for the new, I guess we'll call this new season of GeekPod. I want to call it a new era because we did that last time and then we put out one episode.
Yay us!
That's going to be my thing. Is I'm going to try to find things that are out of my comfort zone for the beers. And I'm definitely going to stay the fuck away from IPAs because we know how I feel about those. I mean, if you want me to review those, I might as well just go get some Dawn dish detergent and call it the same thing. So that's what I get out of it. I get a soapy taste out of IPAs for whatever reason.
You probably think cilantro tastes like soap too, don't you?
Does cilantro taste like anything?
Well, there are two kinds of people.
It's
There are
like
people,
cilantro.
yeah, but it's an actual quantifiable thing. Like half the population loves cilantro, the other half thinks it tastes like soap. Like Lana thinks it tastes like soap. She can't stand it.
I've never got a soap taste off it. I really don't get much of anything. I'm like, I don't know why we're using this. But maybe that's just because the cooking in the house.
Not using enough.
Or properly, probably. I'm just saying. And I really shouldn't complain since I'm not the one that does any of the cooking. So
You shouldn't complain.
I don't.
So
I
what
mean,
does that taste? What does that taste like?
There's strong cherry hints, definitely.
Yeah.
That's really most of the taste I get, but then you get the weird like aftertaste that kicks, which I'm assuming is probably the sour. And it's very good. I will definitely drink 3 out of the 4 of the pack that I got because I think also, well, unless I'll drink 2 if you want me to save one for you as well, Corbs. But we know that our resident beer genius over here, as I put it on his birthday tribute yesterday, I'm definitely going to be saving one of each of these for him.
Well,
so I'll
you.
drink 2 and I'll save one for each of you guys. So when the world finally unends, we can all get together and actually have some beers together again.
Which by that you mean in January you'll be like, fuck, I have 12 packs to give these guys.
Right, we have to do something.
Drink them on Zoom.
Right. Just I'll come over and do deliveries on your guys' steps and then we'll just drink them that way. But I'm digging it. there was also an apple pie there, but I wasn't going to spend $30 on 8 beers this week.
Understandable.
So I did it on 34 beers instead. I had to get the 30 rack of Bud, for everyday drinking. Do you know what we're missing right about now? Our beer
What?
fest that we normally do.
That's it. Usually in January. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. Because when I was going through looking, no, unfortunately. Because when I was going through searching for pictures for your birthday tribute, Hugh, I ran across those ones from you hanging out with Founders Guy, and I was like, oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, Dennis.
Yeah, that's
Drink
right.
New York. Drink New York is actually doing a bunch of online Zoom things. So basically, you send them like $50-$60. They send you a box of beer, and then you all get on a Zoom and you get to talk to the brewers about it while you drink it. It's definitely interesting. It's a little pricey. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you get $50. I think you get like 3 beers or 4 beers plus access to the Zoom thing. I mean, it's definitely a great way to get around COVID, but that's a little rich for my taste.
And it's still not the same. You know what I mean?
No.
Like half the fun is that it's being there, interacting with everybody, playing cornhole for the first time and realizing you're horrible at things like that. At least one of us.
I'm not.
I was terrible.
Really?
I think I got one on the board the whole time, didn't I?
Yeah, Paul, when it comes to cornhole, maybe you're a catcher and not a pitcher. Who knows?
No.
Seriously.
He's writing it down. Son of a bitch. I came up with another good title.
I think that is basically the norm, isn't it? Like usually it's something that comes out. Actually, Lana used to be good. She used to come out with this weird shit, and we would all just stop, and I would write. So, okay. So boys, it's got you geeked.
Corb's letting you go first.
He
Why
looks
me?
like he's in a panic.
I was like, what's going on? Who's talking?
What?
It's typical with us, though. I mean, to be honest with you, nothing's really got me geeked. I've been, sitting around watching movies and making sure my kid goes to school every day.
Oh, wait, is he going 5 days a week?
Stay at home.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't send him to school.
Well, he's got a thing, doesn't he? When he probably shouldn't be in there.
Well, he's got allergies, so and
so
and
they already assume that he's diseased the moment he walks in because he started. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
The first thing that came out when they were talking about going to school was, well, if your kid coughs, sneezes, burps, farts, looks in the wrong direction, they're not even going to send him to the nurse's office. They weren't going to send him.
Yep.
They're immediately just going to call you and you got to come get him. And then he's got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
To
get a test.
Mm-hmm.
Quarantine after that, and then have a note from the doctor that he could go back.
And a blessing from the priest.
Seriously, I was like, it's not worth it. If he sneezes once in the middle of class,
Dunzo.
everybody's gonna freaking duck and cover.
Yeah, and he does the shame walk out. Yep.
Right. So I was just like, it's not even worth it. So we just kept him. I just kept him home. I made the decision to keep him home with me, and they were only going 1 day a week.
Oh, really?
So what's the fucking point of
Why
going
bother
1
1 day a week? Yeah.
Right. He goes 1 day. They're supposed to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday. They're off on Wednesday no matter what. I mean, they still got to log in, but they don't teach on Wednesday.
Wow.
Or anything like that. It's basically for like
attendance.
If kids have issues or questions, they can reach out to the teacher, and the teacher can go you can go one-on-one with the teacher at that point, type of thing. But I was like, you know what? It's not worth it.
No, it's definitely not the same. Yeah.
Just kept home with me. So, and then, unfortunately, the way it's heading now, it looks like we're going to all be back in fucking quarantine anyways. So.
Wait, we got out of quarantine?
Well,
Nobody fucking told me.
You didn't get the memo.
Wait a minute. I mean, you could get out and do shit. I went out and played golf 38 times a week.
I haven't been playing golf. I leave the house to go grocery shopping once a week since March.
You went out hiking. I saw pictures on Facebook of you out hiking.
I'm just kidding.
You just ruined his bet. What the hell?
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm just sitting here, with my finger in my ass.
Everybody needs a hobby.
It's a good hobby, but
maybe he's the catcher, not the pitcher.
no. I definitely pitch.
That's what everybody says.
No, you can ask my girlfriend.
Yeah, we're not
want me to do
going
that?
to. Well, we could.
All of a
But
sudden,
only-
she pops up on the Zoom. So,
She's like, no,
you
I am the pitcher.
You laughed. Last time we did this 2 weeks ago, she was
got
supposed to
Corona.
be here when I was doing the podcast like this, so she would have been here for it. And then Mondays, her birthday's on Monday, so we were supposed to spend tonight together, but she had a COVID scare,
ooh,
so she had to go
That's no
get
fun.
tested. So she got her results and she's negative, so that's
good.
That's good, but I'd already made plans for
Like
to
rearranged.
go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we rearranged things. And my ex's birthday is actually tomorrow, and my son wants to go and see her tomorrow. So I told her that I'd bring him down. I'm not going to drive down there, turn around, and drive back, and then drive back down there 5 hours later to pick his ass up. So I'll just go down there and
Hang
stay
out.
down there with them. I mean, they're gonna go bowling, I think. So I'll bring my bowling ball and bowl, I
There
guess.
you go.
So just for something to do again to get out of the fucking house.
Right.
So, but other than that, I'm just sitting around doing nothing. I did laundry today. That was my big thing today, was laundry.
That's important.
Well, mom's not here. She went to Virginia for
She had to
Thanksgiving.
get the fuck away from you, is what it was.
Well,
Pretty
she's like,
much.
all you do is sit there with your finger up your ass. It's disgusting. I need to leave.
This is uncomfortable for me. I'm out of here.
It's uncomfortable to watch.
At least
No, her and my sister went to Virginia
Vaseline. It looks
for.
painful.
Yeah, her and my sister went to Virginia to see my aunt for Thanksgiving. So when they came back, I made sure, because Virginia's kind of a hot spot right now with the whole COVID thing or whatever.
Boom.
So they went and got tested. So my mom's been staying with my sister. They got
Right,
their results
so-
back. They're both negative also. So
There
mom
you
can finally come home. She'll be home tomorrow.
Hey, Paul,
She's
have
been
you
gone
been
since
for
the
this
Friday
thing?
before.
I'm sorry, what?
Have you been tested?
I have not. I've had no need to be tested.
I'm just curious because
Yeah.
I haven't either, because we haven't had any need.
Right.
Because, we don't actually see anybody or the
Yeah,
light of day. So.
We've had some scares at work, but it always happens when I'm not there. So I'm like, perfect.
Nice.
I don't got to deal with it. One of the guys I work with, I'm gonna keep him anonymous, obviously. He's ran up against it 3 times by people that they have found out have tested positive, and he's like, what the fuck? He's been lucky every time. Like, he's been negative, but he's been quarantined 3 times because of it now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. So that's it for me. I don't know.
Fantastic. Fingers and asses.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
an
I'll
asshole?
tell you what has me geeked, which actually kind of has to do with lips and assholes, like Corbs just said. I
Hot
don't know
dogs.
if you're aware, but the McRib is back.
Oh, I'm very
It's
aware, my friend.
Really back. Not just back, but only in Pennsylvania or Ohio or some other bumfuck place. It's actually back nationwide, everywhere. Every single McDonald's nationwide has the McRib. Now, for those of you that don't know what it is, the McRib is the pinnacle, the mecca of fast food sandwich
Wait.
goodness.
Time out.
Yes.
I'm going to roll back to for those of you that don't know what it is, just fucking turn this off. We don't need that negativity here.
Stop.
Continue.
Paul.
I'm sorry.
Paul, I am the preacher of the McRib. I want people to come to the church and listen. If they have not heard the word of McRib, they need to hear it now.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So the McRib originally debuted in 1980, just in a few restaurants here and there, to test marketing, and then they officially came everywhere in 1981. Believe it or not, was removed in 1985. I didn't know this. It was only around for a few years, which is surprising because I remember having it when I was a kid. Well, it came back at 1989 and stayed on the menus until 2005 when it was released or unreleased. It was pulled back and you couldn't get it anymore. It was still available in some countries after that, but that's always been the scattershot way that it's been around. Ever since 2006, it's kind of been a seasonal thing, but not really, because it usually comes around in the fall, winter time, but not everywhere. It doesn't come to every single area. There are a lot of people who have done research on this, and they say that, it's funny because the McRib usually comes back big time when pork prices are low, and only then. Now, McDonald's Mick denies this Mick conspiracy, but who knows? It certainly seems like there's something there. What has you geeked, Paul?
Oh, no, we're not done here.
Oh, okay.
With your McRib. No. Because that was what? The December 2nd was the day, right?
December 2nd, I told my wife, I said, get me 3, right? Now, my daughter says, I want to try it, so she buys 4. Avery looks at it, says, nope, I'm not eating that. So guess who ate 4 McRibs in a row on December 2nd? You too?
Oh, yeah, after you sent me the picture. Because I'm sitting here at my desk at work, and my phone buzzes, it's Hugh. And I figured he's busting my balls about something, and it is a single photo of 3 McRib boxes. To which I believe I responded, OMG in caps. It's back, ? Or I said it's back already, I think, because I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was this early. And I think I just got back a yes or an oh yeah. And I immediately, because I think it was within a half an hour of when my lunch break should have been, immediately ran upstairs and said, I'm going out to lunch. And I came back with 4 McRibs for myself, which is what I had for that afternoon. But no pickles. I removed the pickles.
I don't change a thing on it. It's perfect. Did you notice, are there more onions on it now? There seems like there are a lot more onions on it. That's so good. It adds so much to the sandwich.
Love the onions on it. But the pickles, I don't like the flavor with it. It screws the flavor up to me. Corbs, are you a McRib guy?
No, I am not.
Have you ever had a McRib?
I have had it, but it's not my cup of tea.
No, because it's a sandwich.
That was weak.
Sorry.
That was a stretch right there.
I've been playing to an audience of 9 and 10. Like, so I'm perfecting dad jokes really badly. Like, to the point that as soon as they come out, I'm cringing. Like, I know they're awful. So, yeah, I'm super excited. The line at our McDonald's was like around the building at the drive-thru. It's insane. Yeah, everybody was there.
I think it's been like 6 years since we've had the McRib here.
Right. It's been long time. Elsewhere, but it's never been in our area. Mm-hmm. It's not right.
No, it has such a following. There's actually a McRib locator app.
I was using it last year.
Yeah, because you can try to find out where sightings have happened of the McRib. So it's a whole thing. People go across country trying to find places that are selling it. And I mean, it's just a pork rib-shaped patty with a sweet barbecue sauce, onions, and pickles. And you notice they're both top buns. There's no bottom bun. It's a top bun. You flip it over, it's also a top bun. They're the same.
Wait, you can't do that. You can't have 2 tops, can you?
You can have 2 tops. That's what makes the McRib awesome.
But the way there's no catcher. Wait.
Wait, no. Paul, we're not talking about that.
Here's a through line for the show. Okay, I'm done with that. My God.
No, you're not.
No, it'll come back around again.
It's the McRib, not the McRibbed.
I mean, it is. It does look ribbed.
It kind of does, yeah. But I mean, that's thick. I mean, come on.
Right.
That's real thick.
Sorry.
Ready
One more to go. Yep. I need options. Gotta have options.
That's what I'm told.
What's got you geeked, Paul?
With me, it's something I was supposed to mention last time, and our listeners did hear about it. The ad ran twice during the episode for us, but I actually wanted to talk about it in person, and that is the 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest. It returns in 2021 with an all-new location. It's a family-friendly event. It's going to have new celebrity guests, new activities and attractions, as well as a diverse selection of vendors ranging from horror and sci-fi merchandise, artists, authors, tattoo artists, podcasts, as well as unique vendors like breweries and wineries. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 27th and 28th at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Guest announcements will begin after the new year. And for all of the upcoming information, including tickets, vendor space, and sponsorship packages, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. That's sci-fi-horrorfest.com.
And please note, dates of the event are subject to change due to any lasting issues from COVID.
Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope they do.
Yes, and I know why
Because
you're saying that.
as it stands, I may not be able to be there because that is the weekend we would be celebrating my daughter's 10th birthday,
Yes.
which I'm sure COVID withstanding, whatever. I mean, that would be a big party and such. And that's not to say that I might be counted out of the entire weekend, but I mean, it's not like I can leave and all right, honey, I got to go be a geek.
Right.
I mean, there's just going to be, clean up and all that. So I have to kind of figure that, it's probably I'm out of it
Right.
unless things turn out differently.
Yeah. And as it stands, because we didn't really mention that part yet, as it stands, we are there. We're going to be set up for the weekend. That's okay.
Did I blow up your spot?
No. And I think I've got a 90% confirmation that I won't be there all alone. Corbs says he should be able to do that.
Should be able to.
So
it's Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yes, as I understand.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Very cool. We should have a good time. We'll be there.
It's during the fair, isn't it?
I mean, as long as the fair really exists again.
That's true.
And if you're still with us, then there, COVID boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be fun. I don't have any official guest lists yet because, like I said, they're going to wait till after the new year to announce them. I know indie horror author Loren Malloy is going to be there. I don't know if you guys know her or not. She's been a friend of the show, at least on Facebook.
So I haven't met her.
No, I haven't officially met her either. It's all been over the social medias. But she's a really cool chick. She's like I said, she's doing her own series of novels, as well as she's making some indie films. She's working on one right now called The Devil's Lettuce. Actually, I never intended to bring this part up, but hey, I mean, let's give her some free promotion here. Devil's Lettuce is a horror movie she's doing about a group of stoner friends who decide they want to go party in a cemetery. And
that's gonna end well.
They decide they break their bowl, their piece they're smoking from. So they decide to decide that's all right. They decide to smoke from a human skull.
Oh.
Which clearly, ends up badly.
That ends well.
Yes, it ends badly, and they become crazed, murderous freaks.
So like everybody in the world right now.
Yeah, like as one does. Yes. So good times. But I've been in contact with the promoter from the show. Her name's Tiffany Beth. She's awesome. She's hilarious. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun there. Actually, I have that as a written guarantee that we're gonna have a blast there, and I told her I am holding her to that. So.
Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And as soon as I heard that they're having tattoo artists there, there's a good chance I'm probably coming home from the con with a new tattoo. So
nice.
Yeah.
You gonna get Catcher across your forehead?
No.
That's not where you want to put that.
Right. That's not the most effective spot for that. No.
That would be a tramp.
So on your lower back.
That's right.
So there's no questions at all when the time comes.
Right. It's like, okay, we've got this figured out. We're good.
Well, before we get off the what's got me geeked stuff, I do want to bring up one thing, and this isn't something that has me geeked, but by association, I feel like it's something I should mention because it's actually kind of a cool program. My ex-wife started a business. I don't know if you know this or not.
Oh, nice. No.
I mean, now I'm not going to say that, her and I are each other's favorite people, but she's Lana and Ella's mother. And I definitely want her to succeed, especially if she's succeeding. She's not bothering me and mad at me about stuff, so
right.
Awesome. I'm glad her life's going well. She started a business and it actually is kind of cool. Now her whole thing is vegan eating, but to the point of wanting to lessen your impact on the environment because she believes that eating animals and all the things that come with raising animals and stuff has a negative impact on the environment. So she's been the kids are both eating like that now. They're both vegan. The business she started, it's called Your Kind Kitchen, and you can find it on Facebook, and they have a website, yourkindkitchen.com. And I'm giving her this free plug because I was kind of impressed because it came out this week. They're starting subscriptions for it. It doesn't actually begin until the new year. But when I looked at it, I was like, wow, this is put together really well. Basically, what they're doing is they're putting together a week's worth, I should say a work week's worth of meals that are all, vegan, no animal products, GMO, organic. I don't know. I don't know that shit. I eat McRibs for fuck's sake, but it's really good food. Okay. There are pictures of the food on the website. It all looks really good. And here's the thing that really caught me, because usually eating healthy is really expensive. It is $50 a week per person. Okay.
Nice.
That's $10 a day, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $10. At that kind of price, I mean, I'm considering
That's
trying
cheap.
it for a week. Yeah, trying it just for a week, just to support her, to show, I mean, yes, I'm not going to live my life like that, but I don't think that it's a ridiculous idea. I mean, for people that can afford it and care about those things and don't love meat like they want to cuddle with it at the end of the night and, rub it and take it home and show it to mommy. It's a great thing. That's not a bad thing to do at all, and that's a super reasonable price. And
Yes,
I'd
it
like
is.
to see her succeed. So I wanted to throw that out there. If you do decide to go and sign up, please mention that, hey, you heard it on GeekPod, because I want her to be like, holy shit, I can't believe he did something nice for me.
Right. That could come back and work out well for you.
Possibly, yeah. Because I didn't tell her I was going to bring this up. It's just
Nice.
I looked at it, I'm like, damn, I mean, she did a really good job on this. So I'm impressed. And that's that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about
Corbs is dying. Leave him alone.
That was a joke.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been awful about her ever, like
Oh,
on
no,
or
no.
off the mic. So
Yeah, and we get along, just fine. But I was really impressed, because I mean, I knew that she was passionate about this, but seeing what she put together, I was kind of blown away.
that's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, I'm glad to give her a little bump there if we can. Hopefully go check it out, guys. We will link to it in the show notes. And look, I actually kept my word last time too. Everything I said I was going to link to
It's
was
the
there.
first time you've ever done that.
Right. That's why I keep multiple notes here. But on that note, Corbs, you've got a classic movie review coming up for us, right?
No, I don't know, classic. These are newer movies that I was watching. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're going to hit that after the break. That's what we'll come back to.
All right.
All right. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
The 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest returns in 2021 with an all-new location. This family-friendly event will have new celebrity guests, new activities and attractions, as well as a diverse selection of vendors, ranging from horror and sci-fi merchandise, artists and authors, tattoo artists, podcasts, as well as unique vendors like breweries and wineries. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 27th and 28th at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Guest announcements will begin after the new year. For all up-to-date information, including tickets, vendor space, and sponsorship packages, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Please note, dates of event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19.
All right, and we are back, and we're going to go into Corb's movie review. Corbs, what have you been watching this week?
All right. Well, I've actually watched a couple of movies. A couple movies that I liked and I would recommend to watch. I'm not going to go through all of them. I picked 2 that I'm going to go through. But I watched It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the movie about Mr. Rogers with Tom Hanks.
Yep.
That movie was phenomenal. I showed my son, he'd never seen Mr. Rogers, the original TV show. So I pulled it up on my phone, and I had A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood on the TV, and I showed him a picture of Mr. Rogers and Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers, and I said, you can't tell the difference. I mean, it's Tom Hanks, you can tell it's Tom Hanks, but they look almost identical. I was shocked at how close they looked. That movie was fantastic. If you do get a chance to watch it, it's very good. It's about an article that somebody in Esquire magazine wrote about him.
Nice.
So it was very good. Other one I watched is called Black and Blue. It's about a New Orleans rookie police officer witnesses an undercover cop kill a drug dealer.
Okay.
And then they go through New Orleans trying to find her. She was wearing a body cam, so it captured everything on camera. So they go through and they try to get her to get the body cam back, and they try to kill her, stuff like that. So that one was pretty good too. The other two the ones I'm going to talk about are two movies that I really wanted to see before the pandemic started. The first one is The Gentleman, Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. Paul, you'll know that.
Yes.
Hugh Grant, Colin Farrell. It's a Guy Ritchie production. Matthew McConaughey is a drug dealer. Kind of far off stretch from his normal
Who does
character.
he play in the movie, though?
His name, he's a drug dealer. Okay. He's not Watterson from Dazed and Confused type guy. He's like a businessman. He owns the best weed in all of England. Everybody buys from him, and he's looking to get out of the game. He wants to sell his business to somebody so that they can take over and run his business for him. And Charlie Hunnam is his bodyguard.
Oh, nice.
It's told through Hugh Grant. He's a reporter that was following them, and it goes through and it tells you, and, he basically says, well, this is what's going on. I know where all your stashes are. You're going to pay me, I think it was $150,000 or $2 million he wants.
Oh, wow.
To not release the stuff to his editor. So the editor was only going to pay him I think $15,000 or something like that for the information. So he's trying to play both sides. So it goes through and it tells you, it starts out with Matthew McConaughey sitting in a restaurant, and it cuts away just as somebody shoots somebody, and you think it's McConaughey getting shot, and it goes back 3 days before, and it shows you how Matthew McConaughey's character decides to sell the business. Him and his wife want to get out. They want to retire. They're looking to sell it. He's got 3 pot houses that he grows the marijuana in, and he wants to sell it for $400 million to some guy. It's supposed to be a friend of his. Well, what happens is his friend double crosses him and robs one of the places and steals all the weed out of it to try to drive the price down for him. And it goes through. It shows you how they handle the business. They kill a few guys. A few guys kill themselves. Like I said, Charlie Hunnam is his right hand guy,
Right.
and he's the one that does a lot of the killing, which is pretty funny because you look at him in the character, and he's almost like a real timid guy, and then when he has to be, he flips it and goes Jax Teller on everybody.
Nice.
Which is nice. So it was a good movie. It was one movie that I saw when it came out, and obviously because it had Charlie Hunnam in it, I really wanted to see it. But it hit just before the pandemic started.
See, I wasn't even sure it had come out.
What's that?
I didn't even know it had come out because I saw the previews for that one too, and it looked cool.
Yeah, it actually came out at the end of January, beginning of February, so it was only really out for about 6 weeks. So it really didn't get a good run at the theaters. And I had been looking for it, any place I could find it, to watch for free. And I was sitting here in the living room at the house, and I went on Fios to their free movies. And I saw it on there for free, and I'm like, ain't that a bitch? So I had until Wednesday night. It was Monday night. I had till Wednesday night to watch it. So Tuesday, when I put my son to bed, came back on the living room and rented it and watched it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was like, this is great. I mean, there's some good parts in it, some funny parts in it. There's some slow parts in it, obviously. Colin Farrell is a boxing coach that at one point was on the wrong side of the law, but he kind of straightened his life out. But he gets pulled back in because his boxers, the guys that he trains, are the guys that steal the weed from Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam, and he decides to make it right by working for them for a little while.
Kind of like a trade-off.
So, Yeah, like a trade-off. Exactly. So like I said, I mean, it was a good movie. Like I said, it was a movie that I really wanted to watch. I'd been looking for it, finally found it. So I took a shot on it. I liked it very much. So you guys can, if you guys find it or whatever and watch it, let me know what you think. And then the other movie I watched, which you guys will both think to yourself, how the hell did you end up watching this movie? And it was another movie that I wanted to see that was coming out. It's called The Hunt. It's a horror movie. It's a horror thriller. Exactly. I saw that, Paul. Another movie, and for some reason, it looked interesting to me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance on it. So again, I've been waiting for it, looking for it, trying to see when it was coming out. It was on the free movies.
Nice.
So I was like, shit. Well, I'm gonna watch it. And my girlfriend was here last Friday night the Friday after Thanksgiving, and I told her, I said, we're gonna rent this movie and watch it because I wanted to see it. And she said the same thing. Like, I can't believe you're gonna watch this movie. It's a horror movie. I said, well, it's not really a horror movie. So a couple things about it. It was pushed back. It was supposed to come out September 2019. Got pushed back because of the 2 mass shootings around that time. The other thing is it came out March 11th of this year.
So basically when everything was shutting down. Yeah.
Yeah, just before everything shut down. So it was one of the first movies that went to streaming.
Nice.
That it was them and Trolls. They put that on. You could rent it on it at that time, and it would still go towards their gross for their movie. So basically, the movie is it stars. First of all, it stars a couple people that you probably won't know, but it stars Emma Roberts is in it.
Okay.
Ethan Suplee. I don't know if you've seen remember the Titans.
Ethan Suplee.
Yeah.
He played Willem in Mallrats. He was Randy in My Name is Earl. Yep.
Yep.
He was the weird kid in Butterfly Effect.
Yes. Yep. He was in all those. But the kicker of it is he has lost he's lost a shit ton of weight.
Like an entire human being. Yes.
Basically, yeah, like a Jonas.
I've seen the pictures. Yes.
Yes. He looks very good. It was for health reasons. He lost all the weight. Looks very good. And then the big actress that's in it is Hilary Swank.
Okay. Yep.
She plays a CEO of a company that puts out a text message. She's got a group of people that she text messages with. They're talking about this thing called the hunt, and that they hunt for what they call deplorables. Basically, it's people that are don't have families. Yeah, they're hood rats. Basically the bottom feeders. They don't have many people that are looking for them or whatever. So what they do is they go and capture these people. They drug them, put them on a plane, then fly them to this remote area, and then release them into this field. And they're all got basically ball gags in their mouth. That they've got. There's a key that you have to unlock it, and they give you a set of guns and knives and weapons and all that stuff. You think that they're going to be hunting each other, but there's a group of people there that are hunting them, which is weird at times. But I mean, I was watching it, and like 10 minutes into it, people are being just picked off left and right. Emma Roberts, she's a big actress. You figure she's the star of the movie. She's the first one killed.
Nice.
Which I was like, holy shit! Even my girlfriend said she didn't last long. So it goes about talking about another girl in it. Her name is Crystal, and she is from the South, like Louisiana, Mississippi, somewhere in that area. Ironically, there's 2 girls by the same name in the same town, different middle name, and they picked up the wrong girl. And this Crystal is a former vet. She was over in Afghanistan, 3 tours in Afghanistan, type of thing. And she turns the tables and she freaking kills everybody. And I mean everybody. She just kills anybody who gets in her way. And it's one of those things you're looking at it going, how does this happen? I mean, how do you how did you screw that up that bad? And she ends up, at the end, having to fight Hilary Swank's character, who you guys know. I mean, she was the girl playing a guy in Boys Don't Cry. That was her first movie. So in that movie, she's this little thin person. In this movie, she's ripped, and it's pretty wild. The fight that they had was pretty good, stabbing each other with like, not like food processing.
Everything.
Well, food processing blades, like the things you put in the food processor that spins around.
Oh, okay.
They're stabbing each other with those things. You know, they hit each other with frying pans, and I mean, it's just wild. So I was kind of shocked at how good. I was actually shocked at how good that movie was. I would actually recommend that movie to anybody who is into stuff like that. So that one was pretty good. So,
Thanks.
I mean, those are two movies that I watched that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed all the movies I watched, to be honest with you. I actually watched Bad Boys for Life, too. So, which, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you've seen Bad Boys.
Yeah, I've seen the first two. I haven't seen that one yet.
The last one was pretty good. I mean, I guess they're going to make a fourth one, I guess. They're talking about doing a fourth one, too. So, but the other thing that I picked up this week is another TV show called Big Sky. Have you guys heard of that one?
It sounds familiar.
Heard of it, yeah.
Okay. Hey, you guys haven't watched it or no? Okay.
Nope.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I watched it because Ryan Felipe was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like him as an actor. He's pretty cool. And John David Carroll played Eastman on The Walking Dead.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. I don't know the actor.
I can't remember if that's his name or not. But yeah, he played Eastman, and then Brian Garrity from Chicago PD, he's in it. John David Carroll or whatever his name is, and Brian Garrity, they play 2 guys that are into human trafficking, but they're doing it out of Montana.
Okay.
And they're shipping people across the Canadian border and sending them off to be sex slaves. And Ryan Felipe is a former police officer now running a private investigation firm, and his ex-wife is working with him in this firm, and then the girl he's sleeping with is also working in that firm. So you can see where that would be a giant issue. But what happens is in the first episode, there's only been 2 episodes so far. The first episode, at the very end, Ryan Felipe gets shot and killed. And I'm like, well, that fucking sucks.
Right, click.
Right. I was like, well, that was the reason I was watching this TV show. What it is they kidnap three girls. One girl is a guy playing a girl. So a dude. And then 2 sisters. One of the sisters is dating Ryan Felipe's and his ex-wife's son. And that's how they get involved in the search for them. So that what ends up happening is Ryan Felipe is killed in the first episode, and his wife and his girlfriend are the ones that are now looking for him. These 2 girls, actually these 3 girls, but it's a whole thing about I think 13, 14 girls in the past 2 years have been kidnapped up there. They're all like sex workers and prostitutes at a truck stop. So people are like, well, they don't have any family. Nobody's going to come looking for them type of thing. So that's who they've been kidnapping. They kidnapped the 2 girls that have family, and people are now looking for them. So now it's about how they go about, finding them, and then how they're trying to keep them from finding them. And John David Carroll's character is a trooper. He's a Montana State trooper. So they're going to him with all these questions and asking questions. The two ladies are looking for the girls, and he's trying to lead them away from everything.
Gotcha.
So I liked it. It was pretty good. Like I said, only 2 episodes in. So
the question, Corbs, is
did
you watch Supernatural?
I have not yet.
You've had 2 weeks, man. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You know what, though?
How could you let me down like that?
I let you down, too. I said I would get in on the challenge. I haven't done it
but
either.
Paul, you never keep any of your promises, so I'm used to it.
No,
I will,
but
though. It is on the list. I will start watching it probably after this weekend. I got, obviously, my ex's birthday is tomorrow, and girlfriend's on Monday, so But after that, yeah, I want to start watching it.
So 2 episodes from now, let's plan it because I have actually got a Netflix subscription now, and I can actually start it as well. So
Okay.
because I think it's a good thing. Maybe we'll do 1 or 2 episodes, and then we'll discuss them on the next episode of ours.
Okay.
Okay,
And
well,
if everybody likes it, who knows? Maybe
continue
it
it.
becomes a segment.
That would be good.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And you get to be the wizened guru leading us through it,
Well, I would love to go back and rewatch all of those. Man.
right? It's just an excuse for you at this point.
Yeah, really. I was thinking of doing it for fun. So
Well, now it's show prep, so there you go. I don't know if that makes it better or worse at home, but all I know is when I say show prep here, I get the big eye roll. So
From your wife or from us?
not from you guys,
we're not at home when he says that.
right? Hey, it's a
his
good
house.
point. He's got a point there.
Paul's like, show prep. We both pop up, in the window.
Right.
And Kristen's like, what are they doing here? I said show prep. Will you stop doing that?
So that's all I got, fellas. Those are the 2
Nice.
movies. I will have some more movies to give you guys next time. So
Now I know Laura was very interested because that's how. Did she text you today? She said she was going to.
yeah, she texted me.
Yeah, she's very interested in doing in you following up on that the classic movie review segment that we talked about last episode.
Yeah, she mentioned something. Oh, what classic movies are you going to do this time? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing classic movies because I watched a couple of newer movies that I really wanted to see. So
There
she
you go.
can deal with it.
So yes, but I think we may have gold there, especially with the reading the like already printed review and then
Yeah.
your review of it. So
Yeah.
she was pushing hard on that one. So
All right.
all of a sudden she's a fucking producer. What the hell?
Seriously, what the fuck? Don't talk to her for like months, and then all of a sudden she's like, "What are you doing? How are you? What have you been doing?"
Laura.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's Laura. That's her MO. So
Anyway.
yes, Dr. Hugh, you said you wanted to discuss a serious topic actually.
I actually do. And this is not a bit. Although I may say some funny things, this is definitely not a bit. I do not want anyone to take this the wrong way. I'm actually looking for feedback from A, both of you, and B, from anybody else out there. But I wanted to talk about inclusive language because that's come up in my life recently, in the past week or so. And I don't want to act like the Neanderthals, like, oh, I don't understand anything. It's not like that. But it's come up in a few places. For instance, it was brought up, by a customer at my job that you can't call deaf people. You can no longer say hearing impaired because apparently that's offensive. You can't. It's weird because I'm finding myself in a situation where I've been dealing with a business that caters to the hearing impaired and the deaf, but you're not allowed to say that anymore. And
Wait.
It got me thinking of. That's all I got. And maybe it isn't that big of a deal, but that's what the customer told me, is that you're not allowed to say that. They were complaining about some verbiage on our website. But that wasn't even the thing that I wanted to talk about. But go ahead, Paul. I want to hear what you have to say.
So what are you supposed to call them?
Let me move on.
All right, I'm sorry. My
No, it's
bad.
okay. So Damara has been sending her book out to traditional publishers, and she's having to come up with taglines because you have like a very few first sentences to try to grab their attention, so they don't just put it in the spam. And one of the big things is they say they want neurodiverse now, okay, which means that they want stories about people who have issues, but you can't say disabled. You can't actually say neurodiverse. You can say I'm looking for neurodiverse stories, but you can't say that in a title because it sounds weird. Because here's the thing: her story is about a girl that has a tic disorder, like Avery does. Avery has Tourette syndrome, and that's the character in the book is named Avery. It's based on our daughter, and she's trying to figure out, like, for the back of her book, what is the blurb? How do you say? The gist of the story is a girl does not let her disability stop her from achieving her destiny. Let's just say that that's the verb, or the idea of it. You can't say disabled. Okay. A girl doesn't let her tic disorder. That just sounds weird. A girl doesn't let her neurodiverse, which isn't even good English. It's like there's no acceptable way to describe that. I mean, we sat at the kitchen table and we're like, what the fuck are we supposed to call this? I mean, I understand that the term neurodiverse is fantastic because it covers a lot of different disabilities and it's not offensive. But when you're actually referring to it as in a person, how it affects that person, that word doesn't work.
No.
So I'm curious, is there a handbook for this? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, because I mean we considered, I mean, both of my kids fall under that same category. Madison with her Alexander disease, which is a neurological thing, and Kylie with her ADHD. So they are both neurodiverse. And I mean, this is the first time I've heard this. Madison is disabled. That's what it's been since day one. If it's wrong, I'm sorry. I mean, we all know, Jesus Christ, I am not a politically correct person to begin with.
Yeah, but this time it's not on purpose, you know?
Yes, no. I mean, like what? Like as soon as you said that, I'm like, well, what the hell do you call it then?
Yeah. So,
like,
so that's kind of,
especially for something in basically promotion. Like how do you do it?
yes, that's what we're running up against. And I mean, if anybody knows, if there's a handbook for this or rules, and I'm not saying that in a tongue-in-cheek way, I mean, I don't want to offend people, and I understand that we're in a world now where some people joke about, oh, everybody's offended, but it's also the world we live in. So, you know, especially, you know, me being in a position where, you know, we have this public-facing geek pod thing. You know, I'm not going to go on here and start talking, you know, using words that would, you know, could cause us a lot of problems.
You mean the words that you usually rein me in on? Those kind of words?
Yeah, exactly. But I am kind of wondering, you know, if you're not on the cutting edge of this thing, I don't even know what to call it. How does one, you know, figure this out? How does one navigate those waters? Because there, at least in our lives, there's a situation, a specific one, where we need to be able to express that idea in a way that's going to capture attention, get the point across, but isn't using language that people find offensive. I mean, I can understand why disabled could sort of be defensive, but you know, we were talking like you can't say, you know, she doesn't let her handy capable disorder stop her from achieving. There's no word that my brain can think of that works there.
No,
know?
that's without it being deemed offensive. Like, how do you do it? Like, I mean, like you said, you can't even say handicapped now. It's got to be handy capable. And
I mean, and then I did make a joke to my wife. I'm like, are we going to come around to the point where handyman isn't offensive anymore? I'm so confused now. You know, at this point, I'm starting to think maybe that was a positive role model.
Right. And for our younger set listening or watching here, handyman was a bit on In Living Color, which was, oh my God, it was such a better time back then.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to say that because that's like saying, slavery, it was such a better time back then. We weren't, the idea was he was a handicapped person, but he was also a superhero.
Yes.
So he was doing like handicap things like with the arms, but trying to save people. And I mean, it was funny. It was the first time I saw a handicapped person, you know, on TV probably. I mean, I was fairly young when that came on.
Yes.
I didn't see it as offensive at all. And I'm sure that it was, but at the time I didn't see it as offensive. But then as time went on and we grew, we decided, hey, that was a really offensive portrayal. You know, kind of on par with like blackface and things like that. But if we're coming around to handy capable again, you know, I'm just kind of wondering, is it coming full circle?
Right. Now, is he going to be celebrated? Yes.
Yes, because I mean, what he was a handicapped person that was a superhero. So maybe it was a positive thing after all. I don't know. I just want to know how to help my wife write the blurb for her book.
Now I have a mission to try and help figure that out too.
All right. Yeah, that affects us both.
Well, no, the book doesn't. That's all you.
Yeah, you know what. Well, that's it. That was my thing. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Not where I thought you were going with this when you told me you wanted to talk about inclusive language.
Yeah, I kind of figured. You know,
that's why I was dancing around it. I wasn't sure how to go there.
Yeah. Oh man, is this going to cause us problems? Are we going to get fired from Podbean?
Right. We'll be the first podcast kicked off. I actually thought this was going to be more in line with Elliot Page.
Oh no, not at all. Oh, although that came out of left field and you know, it kind of shocked me.
I was like, oh wait a minute, he's still around. I didn't know.
I didn't even realize that's who it was until like 3 days of news articles popping up in my feed. And then I go on 4chan and they have a picture of, can you believe this is Elliot Page? And then it shows Ellen Page. I'm like, what?
Well,
And they're like, oh.
When they mentioned X-Men, that's when I was like, oh, okay, Kitty Pryde. I do think it's cool that he's continuing to play the same role on Umbrella Academy, though. That's pretty cool.
Neat.
Yeah. So, and because you brought up, and then after this, I swear we'll go into your news segment, Hugh. Okay. Because you brought up the Supernatural thing, did you see that Jared Padalecki's got a new job already?
Oh yeah, he's had a new job for a while, and I'm gonna watch the first episode just to support. I don't know if I can stomach that though. Corbs, this is right up your alley. One of the brothers from Supernatural is the new Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay.
Is this where I edited in crickets for a second?
Walker, Texas Ranger is Chuck Norris.
Not anymore, my friend.
Nope.
No.
Not starting next
Norris.
week? I think the new show comes out next week.
Well, Chuck Norris better be in it somehow.
Grandpa Walker, Texas Ranger.
Seriously,
who comes in and does all the ass kicking at the end.
Exactly.
I have to imagine that's going to be a super weird experience for me after watching him in one role for 15 years. And now he's a role in a TV show that I wouldn't watch unless you paid me.
Right. I saw it. I think I was fast forwarding through maybe Tell Me a Story or Swamp Thing. And I see the ad for Walker, because they don't even say Texas Ranger anymore. Just Walker, and then you see the badge go flinging against the wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I hear his voice. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah, I've got to at least watch the first episode as well and find out how much of a train wreck this is going to be.
And his real-life wife is playing Walker's wife in the show.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's not nepotism at all, is it? Or
well, I mean, they met on Supernatural, okay. So she is actually an actress.
She's legit first.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But I'm sure they offered it to him, and I mean, I'm sure I don't want to say it was nepotism, but it probably was like, hey, we'll take you both because they're both CW actors already.
Okay. We've wrapped up your inclusive language.
We have.
Fantastic. Anything to add before we move into the news segment? Corbs? Sorry.
Nope.
All right, then. Let's go right into the news. First up is Netflix and chill with movie theater butter. This is probably going to leave even more stains on the couch than before. WB is releasing their entire 2021 slate to HBO Max. Day and date. Is that how they say it? Basically, these movies are coming out in the theater and coming to HBO Max on the same day. They're going to be there for 30 days, after which they will be taken away so subscribers can watch them for the first 30 days. And then after that, they'll continue playing in the movie theater. This has caused a huge uproar. The head of AMC Theaters is kind of freaking out about this, saying this is going to destroy the theater experience.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying. Sorry. I always wait to the end. That's what they're saying. This is the death knell for movie theaters, as we know them.
And it's possible. And you know what? I want to throw this out there. I mean, I don't go to the theater very often anyway, but I've always said, man, I'd be willing to pay about as much money as I pay for two tickets and some popcorn if I could watch the movie in my home.
Right. Sit home in your underwear.
Yes. If they can, even if they don't make billions, but if they make close to billions, I mean, we've already seen that this can work. They're making money in the pandemic. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. It does mean the theater, the movie theater, or movies in general are not going to be a billion-dollar industry anymore. But if that has them scale back a little bit, some more practical effects, some more thoughts on the things that they actually put out, I'm not saying that they're cutting some fat, but it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Like, for instance, the first big movie to hit, Wonder Woman 1984. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. You know what? I'm also sure it would be fantastic if they cut back on some of the crazy big CGI stuff and concentrated on some of the character moments as well. There are ways you can make a movie impactful without throwing millions of dollars in special effects at it, which is really what blows up the budget these days.
They did it for decades.
Yeah, they did. And people are still doing it. Indie movies are going out there with practical effects. And I mean, Okay, instead of spending $300 million on a movie, you spend $200 million on the movie, and you still make you spend a little less, but concentrate more on the things that don't cost so much money. I mean, yes, you can't do Avengers Endgame without a lot of special effects, but you know what? You could do Captain America: First Avenger with a few less special effects.
Totally.
More movies like that lead up to big ones that will make money anyway. Moving on, representation in space. Nielsen reports that sci-fi and horror shows are doing a better job overall of representing women, people of color, and the LGBTQ community. Believe it or not, that kind of surprised me. Overall, women are underrepresented in just about everything except for news. And overall, all of those groups are getting more representation now. But still not as much as, I mean, still most shows are just white people doing their thing. I found it was interesting that sci-fi and horror shows are kind of leading the charge. Well, sci-fi not so much, but horror shows, yeah. But horror shows definitely, I found that interesting. Finally, Fear Another Year. Fear the Walking Dead has been renewed for a 7th season, ahead of the second half of this season 6. Apparently AMC is still, betting hard on The Walking Dead, even with all the craziness going on. They don't show any signs of slowing down with their support. And I don't know how you guys feel about it, but now that Fear has wrapped up the first half of its season and World Beyond wrapped up its first season, some of the strongest Walking Dead stuff we've had in years. It's been great.
Oh my God, World Beyond was phenomenal.
Oh,
phenomenal. And I broke the news to Kristen, because I didn't know it was a finite series until you said it last episode. I told her, and she legit said, "What the fuck, Hugh?" Because I told her you're the one that told me. So
that's not my fault,
right? You didn't make the decision. You were just you were the messenger. So,
yeah. But at the very least, we have one more season of that to look forward to, and at least one more season of Fear the Walking Dead. We'll have to see where it goes after that. And that's the news, kids. Now I am going to recount the number of beers I have in my fridge. It keeps going down, and I think there must be fraud. Paul?
And on that note, I think we're going to go to break again, and then we will come back and wrap this show up.
The 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest returns in 2021 with an all-new location. This family-friendly event will have new celebrity guests, new activities and attractions, as well as a diverse selection of vendors, ranging from horror and sci-fi merchandise, artists and authors, tattoo artists, podcasts, as well as unique vendors like breweries and wineries. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 27th and 28th at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Guest announcements will begin after the new year. For all up-to-date information, including tickets, vendor space, and sponsorship packages, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Please note, dates of event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19.
Doesn't say recording. There it is. Well, welcome back. As I'm such a big reader, let's go into our book club. What do you guys got?
Hugh, you want to go first? You want me to?
Paul, besides the fact that was just gold, I didn't read anything. I completely forgot about the book club. I got nothing.
All right. Well, I scrambled this morning because, I had a big day. And I saw something interesting on the list that came out this week, and coming out from Marvel, it was MODOK, Head Games #1. It's from Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom, showrunners of the upcoming animated Marvel's MODOK show on Hulu. Comes a journey into the mind of one of the biggest heads in the Marvel universe. MODOK is the ruthless and brilliant leader of the terrorist organization AIM, outsmarting heroes and outmaneuvering his cutthroat colleagues gunning for his position. But when he begins to be haunted by memories of a family he never had, it leaves him unsure if he is losing his freakishly large mind, or if perhaps there's a lot more to this enormous mind, or if there is something more sinister behind these visions.
Who gives a shit about MODOK?
I just loved all the puns in this.
Oh, that was good. That was good for sure.
And Patton Oswalt is writing a comic book.
Everybody's writing a comic book these days.
I'm not.
Maybe you should.
You're in charge of your life trajectory, Paul.
Yeah, I know, and it's crashing into the ground.
I did read, though, that apparently Daredevil's a chick now, so that's cool.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently there's a new Daredevil. Matt Murdock is in prison for like the next 2 years, and this is the new. This is how things are for now, and Elektra is now Daredevil.
Okay, it wasn't good enough that she was Elektra. Okay.
Apparently not.
Okay. Yay, equality.
So that was the book club.
Well, if you didn't read anything.
Well, you know what? If you
It's
look at
hard.
it this way, though, I mean, how many Elektra comics have been canceled? I mean, that is, people say, well, why don't they just, do their own book instead of take over, another character? Well, they do that and they get canceled.
Right, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe this is a good thing.
Well, I mean,
not
give it a try.
Not that I read Daredevil. I'm not going to give it a try. I didn't care about Daredevil.
No. If I've ever done an arc of Daredevil, it's never lasted more than 12 issues, and that's when Kevin Smith was writing it. Guardian Devil is amazing, by the way. Go check that out instead of Elektra Daredevil. Just saying.
Well, the book came out on Wednesday, and it's already selling for $1,000 on eBay.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Jesus. Apparently, the Batman Catwoman book is also pretty huge.
Excuse me.
That's right.
I'm going to read that. I have not yet.
I don't know much about it. I just know that Aaron, the co-host on This Week in Geek, called me from the comic shop in a panic, wanting to know if I wanted a copy of it. I'm like, no. But it's already gone. I don't care. I don't need more books that I'm not going to read. So.
And that's when you say, but Hugh would probably like one.
I didn't. Oh, that's true. You're a big Batman guy. I'm sorry. That's my bad. And it was even in your birthday week. I am a shitbag.
You're such a dick.
I wish I could use that as a title. That'd be a great title. But
I am a shitbag?
Yes.
That could be the name of your comic book.
My autobiography. So, Dr. Hugh, you tell us off mic, of course, because they'd already know otherwise. You have a list you want to do for us.
Oh, yeah. It's just a little brief thing I came up with this morning. I was going through my show notes, writing them up. And I realized that, today was a special day for me. And so I did things differently. And that got me thinking, what are the top 5 things that, poor middle-class people do on special days that other people might not do? So number 5, in my case at least, frozen burritos for breakfast. That was how I started my special day. Number 4, put on their best t-shirt and head to Applebee's. I can tell you I have done that before, especially in an anniversary or something like that. It's a big deal. Number 3, marvel at how fresh fish sounds good, but is never as tasty as fish sticks. I mean, when you're used to something like that, even the high quality food just doesn't taste as good. Number 2, and I'm sure we all know this, order a soda instead of water. Tell me you don't order soda when it's a special day and you can spend a little more money. Come on. And finally, the number 1 thing that poor middle-class people do on a special day is wear underwear with an intact crotch. I can tell you, I save my underwear that's all ripped out for the days I'm just sitting at home. If I'm having a special day, I want to make sure I have full support. And that's my list, Paul.
That is phenomenal. I don't have underwear that has a full crotch. I'm just saying.
I'm running out of them. I'm looking forward to Christmas because I'm down to my last few pairs that my crotch is not eaten away at. It's like I have moths under my balls or something. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's better than that goiter.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fucking great. This is not what I was expecting at all. So, boys, what do you think? We think we about to wrap the show up?
I think so, yeah. It's time to go take a poop and go to bed.
I think we've murdered this thing enough.
All right, so let me drop one more of my nuggets of wisdom on you guys. Adulting is when you thought you would die in your sleep from alcohol poisoning, but you didn't. Now, you have to drag your tired, hungover ass to work. Good night, everybody. And megabyte me, bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.